Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Tea with Taylor. Today, I am waiting on my good friend Dion Sage, who's running a little behind where I had to work last minute, and my good friend Ray Ramsey, who is also working Pride events. So first and foremost, with that, happy Pride, everyone. I forgot for a second, almost for a second, even though it's a little wild right now. But today we're going to be talking about some Teatime favorites. I'm going to give them a minute or so to join in, virtually maybe, just for the time being. But we're going to talk about some of my favorite times. I'm going to check in with you guys and see some of your favorite times from this season, see who's really watching. And we're going to get into it. Just get in, of course, we have some hot topics. But yeah, let's give it another minute, and we shall see who will join us first. You guys, in the meantime, start thinking of your favorites. Be right back. Okay. All right. So we're gonna get started, and I've queued up the Tea with Taylor YouTube page. If you guys haven't been on it yet, check it out. The Tea with Taylor YouTube page. It is all of the past seasons from season 1 on. And let me tell you, season 1 was rocky. I had just got started. I didn't know what I was doing really too much. I mean, you'll see. You should see for yourself. It's the progression. I'm just so proud of it to be able to make it to season 6, where I am now. I would have never thought. I would have never thought. It was a passion project, and you guys have been the community has been a big part of that. I couldn't have done it without you. So thank you all for that. I'm gonna find us on Facebook, and I'm watching the comment sections intently. Ken Medlin, thanks for watching. Happy Pride. Because I want to hear about you guys' favorite moments, and not only your favorite moments on the show, but some of your favorite moments maybe with me in real life too, because that counts. That counts. All right. So first and foremost, let's get into our hot topics while we wait on our friends. Salud. Cheers to the weekend. Also shout out to Minna Melanin, my good friend who has also been on the Tea, Lamb, is running that project in Frolic Weekend in P-Town, and I am joining them very, very shortly. I'm surprised to not be there at this moment in time. So yeah, we'll get there when we get there. But you guys look out for us in P-Town. We're gonna be hitting it hot, coming in hot. And so let's get started with our hot topics. There's a few of them. I got a lot today, actually. I don't know why that came out like Maura Rose, actually. We love to be Maura Rose part-time. But first thing I wanted to talk about is some interesting celeb gossip, if you will. First, happy birthday to Tupac Shakur, one of my all-time favorites. In the rap industry, period. Didn't get enough recognition. I think, even though they were very high up on there, I think Tupac could have got a lot more recognition while they were alive for the poetry and for their music and for everything that they put into their music. Because we appreciate it and we can feel it, and there's nothing like honestly, there's nothing like the music that was being made back then, and definitely nothing touching Tupac, if you ask me. Maybe Kendrick coming a little close, maybe J. Cole coming a little close, because they're lyricists. There's a difference between rappers and lyricists, but Tupac, he did that. He left a huge impression in the rap industry. So happy birthday. He would have been 51 today. Happy birthday, Tupac Shakur. Oh, Jackie just joined in. Hey, Jackie, one of my favorite people. And while we're talking about rappers, something I was souped about, I was talking about it last night while I was out with the family, but Drake Drake just dropped a whole album, and he did a Beyonce style. Oh gosh, we can talk about that in a second. But he did it. He dropped an album that I didn't see any promos for up and coming. I don't know if y'all saw any up and coming promos for that. But he dropped a whole album at midnight last night or this morning, however you want to word that. And it's called Honestly Nevermind, and a new video. So the new video was, I thought the new video was dope. I didn't know the song before. And like I said, I didn't see any promos for this coming up. I didn't see him, I didn't see any leaked info, anything until yesterday when it was dropped, like breaking news, like Drake's dropping an album at midnight. I was like, holy shit. I was literally outside smoking at midnight, just scrolling, waiting to see like previews or like hear sound clips and audio bites. Not that I'm a Drake stan, but I'm not gonna lie. Most of Drake's music, I'm here for it. Most of it, like a lot more than I'll care to admit. Y'all know y'all Drake stands on the low, so I'm not even mad to admit it or afraid. But yeah, I guess I have to get into it. The Browns would fight me if I didn't, especially with their daughter supposed to be coming on today to talk. Miss Rage Ramsey is a part of the House Brown, in case y'all didn't know that. But Beyonce dropping her a lot overnight, it seems. Goodness gracious, she took over all of social media. Talk about break the internet, please. Beyonce just did that without bat of an eyelid. So she appeared on the cover of Vogue, multiple page spread, different looks. She cleared off her social media platforms, all of the pictures on her social media platforms, to make way for this new endeavor, this new age or new era, as the Beyonce stans would say. And yeah, she rocked our world yet again and dropped a whole quiet, like no promo, no anything, just dropped a whole thing on us, a whole soundbite, a bunch of images. Honestly have yet to hear any of it. I can only be honest. I'm sorry. I've yet to hear any of it. And I'm souped, not gonna lie, because there's been a while that we haven't had Beyonce music, but like I'm not, I'm just not that, I'm not that girl. I'm just not that girl. And I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan, but I mean, I appreciate Beyonce. I love Beyonce. She's one of the best performers of our time. But again, she's not my favorite person. I'll just say that. How about that? We'll go with that because I don't want the Beehive to attack me. I don't want to get canceled by the Beehive. But yeah, so that's interesting. I'm looking forward to maybe hearing that because let's just say the last one I was a big fan of. The last time she dropped it now, I was a huge fan. So I don't know, maybe she changes my mind. Also, and what's the last celebrity news? Ken Medlin. Diamond Platinum's dropped the new album, and my brother dropped his award-winning new gospel album. Okay, congratulations on that. That's big news. It's hard to win awards for a gospel album. That's very good. Like, wow. And we love it. We love it. They would love to hear it. Thank you for sharing. Lastly, with one of our entertainers here, Miss J Hud, and I know y'all heard about this. Congrats are in order to Miss J Hud for accomplishing something that hadn't been accomplished in decades, apparently. Miss J Hud is reaching EGOT status. And if you don't know what that is, if you haven't seen it, then that is referring to her being an artist that has won Emmys, Grammys, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. That's what EGOT is. Oh, hey, baby. Grayson Rose Sage is watching and says, hi, Uncle Neptune. Hi. Love you to death. Love you to pieces. Thank you for watching. Yeah, so she's recently reached EGOT status. And, big ups to her. Explanation point, because this woman sings her heart out. She sings from her feet, from her toes to the top crown of her head, because this woman, she sang, she be doing it, and she's done so much in her field. And honestly, as far as her activism goes, she hasn't done, I don't know very much of what she's done, but she has actually taken steps towards activism as well, speaking on women's rights and speaking on the need for inclusion. So big ups to Jennifer Hudson. I can only speak good things of where she's gone, what she's doing, and where she's going, because she's been like climbing the ladder and just like getting it done and doing it, and not only just being a singer but being a voice, which is a huge difference. Jacqueline Nelson says, imagine Simon Cowell said she'd go nowhere. This is factual. Oh my gosh. Yes, Jackie, thank you so much. That is real T. Because that was, Simon did say that. But there's been so many cases of people who have exploded and been done so well after being on those kinds of shows that have been counted out on the show. And so for me, that I take it with a grain of salt, especially Simon. I think Simon sometimes gets off on just being cruel for no reason. Whether or not the person is talented, that's another story. But that's why those shows are slightly scripted to me, and they don't appeal to me as much anymore, because it's like, seriously, you're going to pass up on this talent, you're going to pass up on that person, and it just seems a little bit too scripted, just like most reality TV, which is why I don't watch that either anymore. But, you know, it sucks you in sometimes. It's just like The Voice and all those things. You know, American Idol was cute when Nikki and Mariah were on there, because the battles between those two, goodness gracious. And not just the battles, but when they agreed on something, I was gooped, I was gagged. It's like, what? Who? Not Nikki and Mariah agreeing. But anyways, moving forward. Another big win, and this one's for the queer community, this one's for the LGBTQIA plus family, Miss Laverne Cox. Another win underneath her belt. Laverne Cox is honored as the first transgender Barbie doll. So give it up for Laverne Cox, y'all. Oh my gosh. This one actually was really made me smile. Miss Laverne Cox has been doing it in the industry, and as we talk about activism, Laverne Cox has done so much, and I can list, I'm not going to list it, but I can list so many different things, even notations of her being one of the first female producers to producing the docuseries about being transgender. Just so many things, so many accomplishments that she's done, and I look up to people like Laverne Cox. So Laverne Cox being honored as the first transgender Barbie doll is just the beginning. It's amazing to see this, and the doll is hot. The doll is cute, baby. Okay, listen, if I was a doll collector, I would get it. It's cute. It's really cute. And she said that. Oof, it's warm in here. She said that was something that she had thought of and had previously imagined being a part of her career and being a part of the Barbie family, but never thought that she could accomplish it. And so, again, just seeing things like this only makes strides and makes it better for the next generation, which is kind of what most of us are trying to accomplish here, to make things accessible, to see people in these kinds of roles and succeeding where previously we hadn't, so that we know that these are things that we're able to do, and not just for that, but just, seeing Black and brown folks succeed, it's nothing like it. And, and forging our own path forward. Again, it's nothing like it. So Laverne is one of those people. She's gonna get the job done, honey. So congrats to Miss Laverne Cox, and I'll leave that there because we can talk about that for a while. Moving forward, so for all y'all who are trying to travel this year, be warned. It has been said to be one of the worst times to travel. Airlines are kind of in a mix-up right now. I heard that. One specific airline, I forget which one, canceled over half of their flights recently in the last 2 days because of things being overpacked and understaffed and et cetera, and not to mention that prices of flights are going up. So for all y'all travelers, just be aware of this summer season. If you're getting away, it's gonna be a pretty penny. And all prices are going up. But on the plus side, Japan and places like Europe have actually reopened up for tourism since about 2 years, for the first time in 2 years. Yeah, so that's something to look forward to. The destination can be great. It's not about how you get there; it's where you're going. You know what they say. So yeah, there's those places are open to visit as well. Again, just know that everything is costing more, especially with this inflation that we got going with everything, even the cost of living and food and everything is going up. So take it into account, my weary travelers. And speaking of traveling, British Columbia and Canada is actually is moving forward with a temporary decriminalization of small amounts of illicit drugs, y'all. Alexa, play I Like Drugs by Iggy Azalea. No, but actually it's called Emo Club. Silly me. No, but British Columbia is temporarily decriminalizing small amounts of illicit drugs as a trial effort. They're allowing people to carry up to 2.5 grams of opioids, cocaine, methamphetamines, and MDMA. It's going to be going into effect January 31st of 2023, so next year. Excuse me. But they're hoping that with this program, and that other people will follow suit, that with this program, it will become easier for people to outwardly express that they need help with opioid addiction or with using the use of illicit drugs. Allowing small amounts, I think, in this trial effort will be one way to kind of shine light on what is happening with drug use and kind of finding a way to target it. And I think it's a really good idea. For one, if people are going to have these drugs, they're going to have them regardless. So I think this is one way to kind of not keep track of, but kind of watch and see, so to speak. And that's really all that you can hope for with this efforts, because too much of an involvement will cause a rebellion, as we know when we tried to ban alcohol also many years ago. But not enough interaction, will be seen as distant and unhelpful. And if you are a part of the people who can help, who have a platform who can help with the use of illicit drugs in your area or in your community, then something like this might actually help you, again, to target or to kind of watch and see where these things are happening, how they're happening, the demographic, and then like they said in Canada, hopefully they'll come forth and admit that, hey, I need help with this. If they're caught with over 2.5 grams, there's kind of you don't have any other option. You either come forth and express that you need help, or you get put in jail. And Canada is usually one step ahead. So I'm holding out faith that this program actually does some good. Ken Madeline said, I financed my trip through the Affirm app. Okay. Thanks for the tip. I don't know what the Affirm app is, but I'm here for a good financed trip. I'm just saying. Ken, I will check it out. Oh, hi, Irina. Thanks for watching. Irina Devereaux is watching. One of my faves, watching to who just stepped down from being the Empress of the Imperial Court, and did such a great job. And so I commend you on that and all the things in your future. And has a party actually coming up soon that I saw, and I'm looking forward to that too. That looks like a lot of fun, Irina. So you keep doing these things. You keep doing it. But another thing, while we're talking about illicit drug use, another thing that I saw that actually stood out to me last week, that I wanted to mention is 988. Is a number that is going to be coming into play, set to launch nationwide a month from now, July 16th. And this number, 988, is going to be the mental health equivalent of 911. And I think this is an amazing step forward in actually combating mental health disorders and helping people feel that they can get the help they need. 988, please look out for that. At 30 days from now, it will be launched. It will be official. Make sure you tell your friends, share posts about it. I will make sure to put that on the Tea with Taylor Instagram after this broadcast. But it is really, really important. And again, another step forward with government officials or people with platforms actually taking a step to identify a problem within the community. Mental health has been a big issue, and we can talk about it so much, but there has to be some sort of steps that we're taking forward to kind of combat these things or to be aware of these things. And I think this is one of those really good ones. As simple as a hotline, 988. A hotline for mental health when you feel like there's nowhere else to go, because a lot of times people just don't have someone to talk about, and mental health issues completely take over, and it's really unfortunate. So this is something I think is going to be really good. It's going to be really awesome. Look out for that. Again, July 17th is when it's set to launch. And I said this the last episode of Tea with Taylor, you know, a lot of times people, and we have this issue right now in the U.S., mass shooting, and with mass shootings, and it's been an obscene amount. It's extremely ridiculous. And people first and foremost want to jump to the fact that it is mental health disorders. And don't get me wrong, about 3 or 4% of it is mental health disorders. But what we have to do in order to combat this, or in order to be effective in either of these struggles, is to separate them one from another. And then attack one at a time, or one before the other. Because combining mental health with something as colossal as mass shootings only makes that problem just as bigger and grander, and seem a lot like something we can't handle as a people, as a community, as a government official. It becomes a huge red flag, and it's something that we see that seems untouchable when we combine mental health with these mass shootings and with gun control and all the other things that follow behind those things. So what we need to do first is separate those two, so that we can actively, attack one more than the other, or one before the other, because mental health is not always the reason why these mass shootings are happening. It's not. It's really not. Again, 4% of people that have been involved in mass shootings or have committed mass shootings in the U.S. are due to mental health. So if we take away that 4%, you have a huge percentage of people who are committing these acts, or who have been a part of these acts, that have nothing to do with mental health. And if we can continue to ignore mental health, I think that it will only get worse. And so again, 988 is going to be a really big one, a really big win for us in that department. And speaking on the mass shootings in the U.S., it has increased a lot, even in this year. This year alone, we've already had over, I want to say, in the high 20s or low 30s of mass shootings already in this year. And we are nowhere near done with this year yet. Dion Sage is on his way. Okay. But yeah, mass shootings, and I just want to share this sad fact with you all, with all the viewers. 4 people, this is all last weekend. Over the time of last weekend. 4 people were killed in Tennessee. 3 people were killed in Philadelphia. 3 in Michigan. 2 in Arizona. 1 in Georgia. 1 in South Carolina. This was all last weekend. And yet, certain people think that it's something that we need to focus less on, and focus on banning kids from drag shows. Goodness gracious, that one really hit hard when I saw that Congress or people in these positions of power are focusing on banning children from drag shows during Pride Month, of all things. How homophobic. Second, what? How can we focus our attentions on drag shows or drag queens being a part of our child's lives when our children are afraid to go to school? When we have no safe places to send our children? When the younger generation is afraid for their lives, literally. I think we're focusing on a drag show. That's a low blow and a clear attack on the LGBTQI community. And it's been this way in legislation for quite some time. And so we have to kind of hone in on that a little bit to kind of just, pick apart what their idea of help is. Because it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like they're paying attention to the issues that we are actually asking them to pay attention to, and that we've been demanding that they pay attention to. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. I am angry enough to believe that we can get it done. But it seems like they are fighting us at especially LGBTQI, fighting us on every aspect of it. It's a little scary, not gonna lie. It's a little scary. And I hope that we can move forward from this and actually make change that will be long lasting, especially when I'm talking about my queer family. We have been hitting it hard, going forth with rallies and things of that nature, and actually having our voice be heard. So I think and I hope that this is going to be just a blip on the map with this whole like banning of drag shows for kids. Like, what? How? Also, why? How would we enforce that? That makes zero sense. But anyways, moving forward. One last hot topic. One that I actually was disgusted to see was Mr. Ezra Miller. You may know Ezra Miller as the Flash. Yeah. Ezra Miller's been getting into some shit. Ezra Miller has been doing a lot, like a lot. He actually, Ezra Miller, they were in a some sort of disturbance or bar fight in Hawaii, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You guys let me know in the comments if you recall that story. Recently got in trouble, throwing a chair or something of that nature in a bar and causing a scene, letting it be known that he's a celebrity so that he can get away with it. But yeah, they've been doing a lot. And Ezra also recently has been caught up in this kidnapping case. It's sickening. It's sickening. It's insane. So Ezra also recently has been in this case of what they're calling kidnapping and vanishing. And he apparently kidnapped a teenage girl that he's been having some sort of relationship with, who, and the article said, I quote, has been brainwashing this teenage girl, and has now ran away apparently, and has vanished and has not been found. And I don't remember the allotted time that he's been vanished for, but yeah, apparently that's happening. And I heard something along the lines of like Trey Songz doing that attempting to do that with Keke Palmer. My kids in the house of Neptune told me about that. I was like, wait, what? What? He tried to kidnap Keke Palmer? What is going on? Not Trey Songz. But yeah, apparently Ezra Miller is caught up in this. He's been in a few other altercations as of late. And yeah, I just don't know what to say, brother. Like, I'm sorry. Whoever, I hope he reaches out to 988, because that's a mental health. That's something to do with mental health, for sure. If you ask me, but I'm no doctor. He needs to call 988. Yes, can I just say yes? Come on now. Literally, I'm like, we got 30 more days. Hopefully, Ezra is not involved in any more situations in the next 30 days. Because they need 988. That's a prime example right there. So we'll see what develops with this one. Hopefully the teenage girl is fine and she went along with him willingly, which sure, great, whatever makes you happy. But yeah, we're gonna follow that one, because that was insane. I was like, not Flash disappearing. Like it's very interesting. I was like, okay, wait, did he run super fast? No one can find him. What's going on? Don't they have a chip on all these celebrities anyway? Anywho's, moving forward just a little bit. So today we're here to talk about some of my favorites and some of your favorites of Tea with Taylor. We are here at season 6, and I can't say it enough. It's insane. I would have never thought I'd be here in season 6. And so I really want to get into it. And I'm going to give you guys back your Friday, I promise. You guys let me know in the comments section. What are some of your favorite moments from Tea with Taylor? Like, what drew you in as a viewer? One of the things that stuck with you from one of the episodes, some of your favorite moments. Excuse me. I know one of my favorite viewers, Miss Calypso Phoenix Brown, was when we play a game on Tea with Taylor. Unfortunately, I don't have a game today. I know, I'm sorry. But I do have some clips. So yeah, we're going to watch some of my favorites, and I'm going to start with my commercial that I created. It was part of the promo video earlier, so you get to see the full-on thing. And it's one of my favorites because, one, it was a labor of love making this commercial. Over 1,000 views, which, wow, amazing. I was so happy to see it. but also it highlighted a few moments that are my favorites from doing this show. My mom being on as associate pastor, talking with me and having a chance to sing with her, is in this commercial. And one of the moments that I really want to talk about, that I want to highlight, that with my friend Dion Sage, who will be joining us in a little bit, was, you know, the moment with me, Dion Sage, Nate Banks, and my daughter Niall Sheik. It was a moment to. It was a really great. It was a really fun episode. We had a lot of different personalities, and you'll see in the clip. But one of my favorite moments was from when Dion Sage said, "Y'all, we sitting up here looking like the four aunties from Poetic Justice." Like the four aunties from Poetic Justice, and I screeched and bellowed because it was so true, it was so factual, it was hilarious. But we're gonna get into this. We're gonna watch this little clip real quick, and I am going to read in the comments when we're done some of your favorite moments, and you know, we'll move forward from there. But let me know y'all favorite moments, and in the meantime, let's watch this. It's very faint. Usually, it's every 20 to 30 minutes. To move the slugs. Okay, yes, we're back. Yes, all right. So sorry about that. True Fashion is live. I don't know what happened there. Let's say like live or on literally. Oh man, I don't know. So you put gaze and technology and then hold them to schedules. Don't do it. A little on religion and spirituality. And I thought it would be nice to have my good mama Bear, as I like to call her, come and give her perspective as associate pastor. I'm so sorry that I put co-pastor. I just saw your message. So, yes. That's okay. But as we were saying, and the other part of the Negro experience, religion. What the hell is going on? You can order for just $10, darling. $10? Okay, so that's basically it. But yeah, it was a moment. It was a moment to be had. I don't know if you guys caught the moment where Dion Sage said that we look like the four aunties from Poetic Justice, but I screeched and bellowed, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was a moment to be had. Some of the other favorite moments I'm gonna have to find while we're, you know, chatting, but I can tell you from just my memory, one of my all-time favorites was actually being able to bring you guys the Negro experience, as I called it. And that for me was really big. It was a really a humbling moment. It was one of the reasons I wanted to do something like this, to kind of let it be known where I stand and and like having a platform, and kind of educating people for the next generation, and letting people know what I stand for. The Negro experience was just so great. I did a lot of research into cultural studies, and learned a lot myself, actually. So it felt really good to be able to bring that segment. It was a 3-part series, I think, or a 4-part series. And that was one of the episodes that I was able to have my mom come on, who talked about religion and spirituality in the Black and Brown community, which plays a huge role in how we identify, especially in the Black and Brown community. And in the Negro experience, I was able to kind of, you know, honor Black History Month in a special way, in a way that only felt right to me. And I really appreciated being able to do that, really being able to kind of come to you from a raw, uncut place, and to talk about something that might have come across as a personal interest, because I try to find a nice balance between what interests you as viewers and what interests me. And so it was a huge endeavor for me, a huge shot in the dark. And I was glad that I did it at the end of the day. It was, again, one of my favorite moments, like bringing you the Negro experience, being able to talk about issues that plague the community, bringing my point of view with where things are going and where they're headed and the people in charge of these kind of things. So yeah, it was a moment for me. Being able to be open and honest about my blackness and what that means to me. Huge. And it really was an enlightening moment for me on having the show and being able to do things like that. Another one of my favorites was my Halloween special, and I'm gonna show a clip of this. My Halloween special from last year with the one and only Complete Destruction. It was a moment, and if you guys haven't seen this, again, you can catch up on all these episodes on, as you see, YouTube, T with Taylor YouTube. It was such a moment to have Complete Destruction here. One of those moments where I got to break out of my comfort zone, for one. I got to decorate, too, which is something I love. Like, I cannot tell you enough how much I love to decorate. And dressed up the room, kind of, and gave you a little Halloween, a little scary, a little horror. We took shots out of a syringe that I mixed in with a little grenadine so it looked like blood. It was such a good moment. We talked about some spooky dooky shit. We talked about ghosts and encounters and things like that. It was such a good moment for me, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but you should. Shout out to Complete Destruction, by the way, who, you know, is unlike anyone else. But that's what we love about them. But it was such a good episode. It was such a good episode, y'all. And I don't know if you can tell from this, but it was decorated to the nines. I think this is the moment where Complete was talking to me about the encounter.
One of my friends' houses we were in. Also, that same roommate moved in with another one of my friends. Also, we
lived for the carry look. Why I was dressed as Beetlejuice.
Don't ask me, because I told her flat out, like, not in my house.
Jesus, actually Jesus, yeah, like actual Jesus. That's the only spirit I would float around. Jesus.
Well, her stove turned off.
That's scary.
Without the fire, all the vents.
Yeah, because then you're like smelling that, and
it's
just
dangerous.
We
were smoking in the house.
Ooh, that might have been a malevolent spirit.
Yeah.
We gotta be careful with that, y'all. I was talking about that on Facebook too. Like, don't be fooled by the malevolent spirits that come to visit you, because they will come to visit you with a guise. So we're not gonna get into that, but don't be fooled by malevolent spirits. Moving forward just a little bit, before we get into more questioning, I want to play at least one of the games today, because that's a fun game. Yes! And you know what? Funny enough, the name of the game is called Body Count. And so I was like, oh my god. Okay, so actually, I actually like 100% forgot that we played that game, Body Count. That's one of my favorite games that I've played on the show, like ever. Body Count. It was really interesting. We talked about the idea of the game was to don't say Beetlejuice 3 times, cut it out. I might just show up. No, but we talked about wow, what was I saying? I completely forgot. That just lost the whole thing. But anyway, so that was one of my favorites. But Body Count, we talked about which celebrities might be dead and which might be alive, and it was really interesting. I found that game somewhere. I can't remember where I found that game, but it was very interesting. It was my first time. I think one of two, because I played it twice, but it was one of the 2 times that I played that game, and I enjoyed it. And of course, who else to play it with other than Complete Destruction? Who would appreciate it the most, you know? But if you know Complete Destruction, you know that you get that. But another one of my favorites was when I got, and this is also going to be a clip that I'm going to share with you guys. one of my favorite moments, this right here, was being able to.
That is going to change. A really good friend of mine here today, one of my favorite sparkly songbirds.
Being able to sing with Miss Elijah Dickinson. It was so good. It was one of my favorite moments of all time. And we sang one of my favorite songs of all time, which was Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. It was a moment. It was a moment. It was a moment.
We're artists and we're sensitive about our shit. 2 minutes ago I met you. I looked up when you came through the door. My head started reeling. You gave me the feeling. The room had no ceiling or floors. 2 minutes ago I met you, and we murmured our how do you do. I wanted to ring out the bells and swing out my arms and to sing out the news. I have found her, she's an angel with the dust of the stars in her eyes. We are dancing, we are flying, and she's taking me back to the sky. In the arms of my love, I'm flying over mountains and meadow and land. And I like it so well that for all I can tell, I may never come down again. I may never come down to earth again.
10 minutes ago I met you. I looked up when you came to the door. I wanted to ring out the bells and fling out my arms and to bring out the news. In the arms of my love I'm flying over mountains and meadow and glen. And I like it so well that for all I can tell, I may never come down again. Found him
I have found her.
with the dust of the stars in his eyes.
We are dancing.
We are flying
Taking me back to the skies.
in the arms of my love. I'm flying over mountain and meadow and land. And I like it so well that for all I can tell, I may never come down again. I may never come down to earth again.
Y'all? Come on, Miss Julie Andrews. No, it wasn't Julie Andrews, Ken. But, I mean, vibes. Thank you. I'm not mad at that, honestly. Like, I wish, Miss Julie Andrews, I'm trying to get there. But no, I love singing, and so that was a really good moment for me, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have Elijah on, and 5 minutes before, as you can imagine, I was like, hey, you want to sing? And Elijah, in all best words, was like, yes, let's do it. But, you know, it looks like the cat drugged something in. So, y'all, Mr. Sage has made his way into the building. So I'm going to bring him on and have him talk about his favorite moment while y'all can still continue to tell me your favorite moments from Tea with Taylor. Here we have Miss Dion Sage. You know, let's bring her on in.
Hi, everyone. Yes. Oh, my goodness. So I want to apologize about my tardiness, but I just got out of work.
You know you be running on CPT, bro.
Yo, I be running on worse than... I be running on GCPT, Gay Colored People's Time, okay?
This is true.
That you already know. The gays have a time, and my colored people, we got a time, too.
Listen, this is true. Let me just tell you, my man be doing the same thing. I'm just saying. But anyway.
Wait a minute, you ain't gonna sit up here and talk about
my family do it, my kids, you know, it's just
Taylor does it.
I don't do not you
Taylor
know what?
does it.
You know what? When I'm late, it's intentional because that just means I don't want to be there. So if I'm late,
you know, it's so crazy because I had an old boss used to tell me. They said, you know, if you're habitually late to something,
it's because you don't want to be there. And I'm not afraid to.
But like, I mean, sometimes I'm late to things. Like if it's an event, I want to be fashionably late. I want to be the first
like
one
like my child, like Coco the Freak or Quan. I am usually very, very, very punctual, and I'm so OCD that I am trying my best to make everybody else punctual. And so when that is not the case, it's unlikely. But as you know, when it's an event or something that's planned, I'm there.
Oh.
I'm there. I'm ready. I'm early.
Well, no, sometimes sometimes we'll get there early, but if we don't see a lot of people, we'll like, sit in the car.
Right. And like I said, if I don't want to be there, I'll get there. But I'll get there, but you won't see me until about 10-15 minutes after. Because I'm a chill.
So I just want to say to you, Happy Pride.
Oh, thank you. Happy Pride. Yes, We've been saying this. I've been saying Happy Pride to everyone for like a month.
You know, I mean, I
it feels like a year.
I just really recently got into the Pride spirit. I really wasn't into this Pride spirit, and I recently got into the Pride spirit.
Honestly, we were just talking about it earlier. I feel like it's a lot easier to get into the Pride kind of mood this season because we're not hectically running around like chickens with our head cut off this year.
Oh my god, last year.
It was awful. I mean, not to
it
say,
wasn't awful.
Not to say that it was terrible. It was a terrible. It was
let's
terrible.
Just say
what
the community had us pumping all
right.
night.
We were pumping all night. It was a great moment for outreach. It was a great moment for bringing together the communities. It was a great moment for doing something different.
Yep.
Because we didn't have a traditional Pride.
Right.
But a bitch was tired.
we went from Cranston to Providence to Newport. Back to Providence, back to Newport, back to Cranston,
flight,
Woonsocket,
another club,
helicopter,
and
there was a boat involved, and then there was a horse and buggy. And let me tell you,
you think about your childhood, girl. No,
sorry,
the horse and buggy.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's your childhood.
Oh, sorry, I remember.
Lord, I'm sorry. You're exposing your age, honey. But
I'm 83 years young.
83. Oh my gosh! Wow, I could never. I'm 23. Anywho's, so shut your ass.
You saw I took a sip.
So moving forward, Ken says then he don't want to be anywhere late. Leave a Taylor event. What? Okay, I see what you did there with the acronyms. Okay, Ken, I see what you did there, but. One of the things that yes, that's better. One of the reasons we're here, the main reasons we're here, is to talk about our favorite moments on T. This is your fourth time here?
No, I feel like I've done
more
T's than
I'm like maybe you got Poetic Justice.
Look who's calling me.
Come on, Ricky.
I'm going to answer this. I normally don't.
Live. Oh boy. T.
Hi, Ricky. We're live right now.
Hi. Oh, hi everybody. I'm stuck on the fucking highway.
How did I beat you here? And literally, I just got off of work.
I can't even.
I'm literally stuck on the highway. I'm not moving.
Y'all see this CPT going on?
Wow.
Y'all see this?
But I mean, there's a lot of traffic out there.
Is.
There's a lot of traffic out there. Let's just say the gays are in town because I see some gays that I've never seen before.
Like Ken said, Pride shenanigans. It's Pride shenanigans.
It is Pride shenanigans.
And they have exits blocked off. Like I had to go around and slip back around to the other side of 95.
Oh boy. You
know what? I didn't
connect to something. Listen, if you're, I sent you the virtual invite. If you want to join virtual, if you're not moving, honestly, sure.
Okay, work.
All right.
Work.
Send me the link.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I got a hat, no wig.
Okay, I just took my hat off because it's hot in here, girl.
It's hot in here. I walked in. Listen.
Hot.
Let me tell you something. I was in work and it was nice and cool, believe it or not. It was nice and cool inside work. As soon as I walked outside, I felt nothing but moisture just hit me like at every orifice.
I don't want to think about your moisture, girl. Nor your orifices.
I beat my entire face literally in front of the AC.
Oh wow.
Like I wasn't
I
started sweating as soon as I got out of the shower.
I think Taylor's sending you the link again. I think so.
Check your Facebook, girl.
Send me. Hold on 1 second. Where is it?
You got no technology. We love.
Yeah, I don't know technology, and I think I sent it already.
And I'll be honest, I haven't done this in so long. I don't remember how to do it.
It's because we're old. But while we wait for Ricky,
yes, Ricky.
D.
Oh, I gotta give. Hold on, Ricky.
Where did the link?
I don't know. I don't know. So you want me to give my favorite?
Yes.
Okay, so I have to say one of my favorite tea with Taylor's was, I want to say my first time on tea with Taylor, because that just was around the same time that President then
shut your ass
social media influencer President Trump was president of the United States, and he had ended up getting COVID, and they said that, you know, while the president's down, that meant Mike Pence was the acting president until the president felt better. And I yelled out, hide your gaze.
Hide your gaze.
Hide your gaze.
Hide your wife.
Hide your lesbians. Your bisexual.
Hide everybody up in here.
Hide everybody because Mike Pence is president.
I do remember that moment.
That was my favorite moment. That one, but also there was another one. It was myself, Niall, and Nate all on the couch.
Oh, I was just talking about that.
And I mean, in the middle of it, like, I guess, you know, Mark Zuckerberg felt like we talked enough, decided to kick us off live. And then when we came back, you have all of us sitting there on the couch talking about pulse check. Are we here? Are we live? Hello.
Yes, I remember that. That was Nate Banks was like, hello, what's going on? Are we here?
But I have to say, in all my times that I've been on with Tea with Taylor, you know, each time has been something special. The last time I was on with Tea with Taylor was the Black History special, and I ended up meeting a new friend in DJ Ephraim.
Oh yes.
And you know,
Hey, can you hear me still?
Yes.
Yes, I have to say that, Taylor, you do a really good job with this Get Together. I think
Aw.
that you are a phenomenal host and a phenomenal, like, person when it comes to providing not only education, but, like, the important things of education when it comes to, like, being the Black community, being the queer community, making a difference, not just staying stagnant. Like, you truly are an inspiration in terms of how much you do for the community. And since we're on this topic, like, I personally just want to thank you for just, you always inspire me. You know, you're always like,
Aw.
and it's really dope. It's really, really dope, Taylor. I think you should be proud of yourself. And in honor of Pride, I want to say thank you for being such an outstanding.
Thank you so much, Ricky. That means so much to me, honestly. Like, you don't even understand. To be able to be in a position where I'm even able to inspire anyone.
well,
Whoa. That feels like very new to me.
Let's talk about it. I mean, for 2 years straight, you've literally been on this and pushing and working. And then last year, you started doing more community events in a different aspect. You've always been a performer in the community. So people have known you for performing. But to now, last year, you're giving speeches. You led the prayer vigil that we had last year, you know?
That was,
you know,
wild.
you literally created, now you are a house father of one of, which I... Huh? Well, I think, to be honest with you, he's the only house father, because, like, even though people say, oh, well, the house of Sage, I said I only have one child. That's a condo apartment. That's not a house.
Come on, condo. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad. Ricky, I tried to accept you on here, but I don't think I can. Send the request and I'll accept you. But not the condo, girl. You know, I'm just honestly, like, like I said, it's all still new to me. I feel like a little floored when people acknowledge these things, because for me, it's still new. I don't even know how to handle it. And like I said, to be in a position where I'm able to even influence anyone in any way, I'm so grateful.
I had a revelation.
I'm so grateful.
I had a whole revelation.
You don't even know. Like, this started as a side project. Ooh. The perks of being live, y'all. It's okay.
The studio's falling apart, guys. Get the duct tape!
It's a coup.
Get the duct tape!
It's a coup from the inside. Ricky, did you send the request?
I did. I sent it 3 times.
3? Oh, Lord.
It's not coming in.
Oh, it's not coming in yet.
Facebook acting up today on us, y'all.
I
Ricky's
know.
not here.
Ricky.
Hopefully, hopefully we...
Now.
But, the other thing I wanted to say to you, so with all that and things
But
like that.
hold on, actually, one where you mentioned it and I forgot to mention it was my Black History Month special this year, which was really good.
It was
such a good conversation.
That was
kind of piggybacking off of, for me, I was still coming off that high horse of doing the Negro Spiritual, which I really enjoyed doing, which I talked about a little earlier. But
the Negro experience.
The
not
Negro
spiritual.
Oh wow!
You said Negro spiritual.
No, because one of my favorite parts was singing.
1865.
Yeah.
Talking about Negro spiritual.
No, one of my favorite moments of
water.
that was singing. Shut your ass! I'm so mad. No, one of my favorite moments of the Negro spiritual was singing with my mom, and she caught me on the spot.
You said Negro spiritual. You sang a Negro spiritual with your mom.
That's why I said Negro spiritual, girl. But no, it's like Ricky said earlier, you know, it's just one of those moments where I was able to highlight education and kind of speak on something that is solely mine.
Right.
Solely my point of view of being black and brown, solely my point of being black and queer. And it came across really well, and I'm grateful for how you all received that. So I was really comfortable with that. And it felt like...
Also for breaking stigma with religion and queer communities.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stigma around it, and you two have really opened your mind. I mean, Dion, like you and I have had multiple conversations about religion and stuff like that. And
Don't. We gonna open.
And you know what?
That portal right
and you
now.
know what? You started talking about that, and my pastor and our pastor, Pastor Jody Allison, just commented. He said, "I love you. We love you as well, Pastor Jody." But you know,
Jody.
all thanks to God, all glory be to God. But this ministry, Powerhouse Ministry, is on fire.
Let me tell you
and
something.
we have been breaking barriers. So for you to like acknowledge that means the world to me, and I'm sure to Dion.
It does.
But that's crazy that you acknowledge that.
So I can I put a plug-in?
Of course.
So here's the side plug-in. Powerhouse Church of Providence on this Sunday at 3 p.m.
Oh, yes.
We'll be having a chicken and waffle social. Yeah, we blinging it black.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Chicken and waffle social.
Oh yes.
So if you're not doing anything, meet us right over at the Beneficent Church on Ray Bassett for some chicken and some good old waffles.
Ricky said, bitch.
Chicken.
Listen.
What you say? It ain't gonna be Roscoe's, but it gonna be chicken and waffles.
And we got a bunch of games for all you who have been to who went to my game night event last year. It's gonna be something like that. We're setting up outside. Get you some sunblock, please. I can't express that enough.
Black
Get you
people
some
do burn.
sunblock. Black people burn quicker. You just don't realize because we attract more sun. We have melanin. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. So. Thank you. Yes, Ricky.
Brother Ken Menlin, listen, I try to get them to do a chicken and fish fry, so I know the grits and shrimp is next. I'm telling you right now. Grits and shrimp is next.
Okay, come on, Ken, with the grits and shrimp suggestion.
Let me tell you about grits and shrimp.
Listen, don't tell them too much.
If you want some good grits and shrimp inside Rhode Island.
You've seen those TikToks when certain people get a hold of our food. I'm just gonna say that and leave it there. So don't tell them too much about the grits.
If you don't know how to make grits,
do not.
I'm gonna need for you not
Just
to touch
don't.
the grits,
Just
okay?
don't. Just don't.
Listen, don't get them 5-minute grits and put them on for 5 minutes because it don't take 5. It takes longer than 5 minutes.
If they don't know how to make grits, they put water into chicken and they're gonna put the flame too high and it's gonna burn.
Ricky, you sound like you know how to make some good old grits.
Ricky just made grits before they got in drag today.
Come on now. Okay, come on now. I'm not mad. You know, you got those good old CV recipes.
Right.
I'm not mad at it.
Speaking of CV recipes,
I'm just saying.
I need some cachupa.
You heard it here first.
No, listen. Hey, it's so funny you said that. My mother's gonna be making.
That's literally one of my favorite dishes.
See, that was a prophetic of me.
He knew it was coming.
I spoke it into existence. I knew it was coming.
He knew.
I knew it was coming. But I did want to say this. I'm actually glad to be here because it is Pride and it's a Pride show, and I know we're going over like favorite moments, favorite things, and things like that. I do want to say to my brother Taylor Neptune, Taylor, I remember when you first started this project. I remember that long conversation we had. I'm doing coffee, you're doing tea with Taylor, and then to be able to work with you as a colleague side by side on the Progress Channel. The late Progress Channel. Rest in peace, Progress Channel. No, I'm joking.
That was a moment.
But I have to say that these 2 years extended our friendship, and then this past year extended our brotherhood into a severe brotherhood.
It's gonna get severe up in here.
It's severe up in here, and I have to say this: I'm truly proud of you. I'm godly proud of you.
Thank you.
Amen. I'm godly proud of you, and continue doing this. Continue staying steadfast. Continue staying on the mark. Continue staying on the ball, because there are some great things that are gonna come even further. God's not done with you,
Amen,
brother.
I received that. I hope so. Thank you. Y'all are trying real hard to get me to cry today. Cut it out.
Dang, I almost had him, everybody. He almost was crying. I was like, this close.
I am not, okay? Y'all
the waterworks is about to start happening.
Y'all not getting
Maybe
that.
we gotta call the children. Maybe the children will get him to cry. If you want to get Taylor Neptune to cry, please dial 1-800.
No, listen. We talked about the mental health line earlier. Please call 988. Cause listen, I'm crying over mental health. That's what I'm crying over.
Listen,
y'all are not gonna get that on the T. No, it's not happening. I'm trying my best. But
you go to Coffee with D, you'll see Dion crying. I'm pretty sure. His birthday episode.
We're getting close to the end of the broadcast today. Unfortunately, if this were live, I would say everybody say "aw." Thank you, Ricky. Cute word. But before we go, I also want to get one of your favorite moments, Ricky. While we have you, I want to get your favorite moment.
Let me see if I can get close to the speaker.
Get up in there.
So one of my favorite moments, I'm gonna be biased and say that time that I was on this show.
Girl, you were on 3 times.
Which time?
Girl, okay. It was the time where we started talking about white privilege, and not because I'm not trying to take it to a racial. I'm not trying to take it to a racial point. We were talking about white privilege, and we were talking about oh my gosh, what was the? I'm gonna paraphrase here. Please don't quote me. But what we were talking about is basically like not being white and having to fight all the adversities going. And we opened up about my childhood. We talked about yours. We talked about me coming into the queer community. And you coming into the community. And that moment, Taylor, was a very special moment for me. Like Dion said, Tea with Taylor was a way that I felt like I became closer to you as a friend. And it was a very special moment. That day sticks out in my mind to me a lot. Like over the other 2 times I was on the show, over the time I came to do your makeup, over the time that we're just chilling, talking, kikiing, like that particular moment when we were doing shots. And remember, I was telling you, I was like, I cannot do anymore. I'm drunk.
Yes, I totally remember. Absolutely.
Wait a minute. I remember that night.
Listen, my favorite thing to do on Tea with Taylor as of the last 2 seasons is to get people liquored up. It's my favorite thing.
He hung around. You know what it is? He hung around them old girls.
I did.
Old girls on Thursday
You know
night.
what? You know what?
You know the senior citizens. No shade. I'm joking. We love the drag view girls.
You know what? It was the drag view people because I pulled.
You got to remember they've been drinking since pre-prohibition. You can't keep up with them.
They drank me under a table, honey. I went on the drag view brunch and they drank me under a table.
And chairs.
I told Ladiva that I saw Ladiva at table one day for shots, and I said, Ladiva, this is the one and only one I can handle. This is the one and only one I can handle.
And what she said?
Here's another one. Yep. Oh, we lost Ricky.
Sorry, we lost Ricky, everyone. Ricky. You know, technology.
But honestly, I like to pick and choose different parts of different projects and different friends' endeavors that I've seen that have been successful. And honestly, that's one of the things I picked up from their show that I was like, that's great. It becomes more of a conversation, more of a casual moment with a friend. Yeah. And like Ricky said, getting closer to that person. And that means so much to me.
It's the same thing I always say about here's how I consider people who are close friends. I do have a lot of friends. I have a large friend network. But let me just tell you this. If you've never been to the house to sit down and eat with me, if I never invited you out to eat, to break bread, I don't consider you that close of a friend.
Yeah, that's a big one.
No offense. No offense. And don't get me wrong, there's some people out there that they may consider me a really good friend because we get good advice and we have great conversations and things like that. That's great. We have these great conversations and all this stuff. But, if you want there to be a more relationship, invite me out to eat. Yeah. Or I invite you to say, hey, can we do some type of eating thing or whatever? Seriously. Because I think when you break bread and you eat with somebody, when you have a few drinks with somebody, you're able to tap into different levels of emotions. And I don't understand this new thing where young people, y'all don't want to be vulnerable with your friends because you're afraid that they're gonna come back and let me tell
you know
something.
what? I get it. I understand
it.
But it's not sustainable. That's for sure.
It's not. Sometimes, let me tell you something. This man right here, and I'll tell you, there's been times I've been vulnerable with him, and he's my best friend. He's been vulnerable with me about things, and period. And I think that's what strengthens the friendship. There are things that in your friendship that a friend's gonna do something that you don't like, and you're gonna do something that your friend doesn't like. Mm-hmm. But if you have that open communication, if you know who each other are and things like that, you can be able to grow from it, build from it, and strengthen that relationship.
And like I'm learning, no time is a bad time to communicate. Like I'm always learning, no time is a bad time to communicate. Nope. Sometimes, we make mistakes. It's human. We don't communicate as much as we should, or we over communicate sometimes. There's no game plan. There's no this is what you have to do. I mean, some learned people may say this is what you need to do. This is to be the best, but take it in strides.
Well, maybe we should just write a book on friendship.
On friendship. I mean,
the steps to friendship.
I mean, that would be cute.
Step 1.
I am well along.
Be honest.
I am well on the path of becoming an author, so there's that.
Be honest.
There is another Taylor Neptune that does erotica. So novels. So I might have to change. I might have to change my name
to
be an author. Ha! Just King. Period. Just King.
Just King.
KVNG. Period. But anywho's
King. But
so we've reached our hour marker, and I want to thank you all for watching and for keeping up thus far. Honestly, it really means so much to me. And again, I never thought that I would get to this point, and I'm remaining grateful. I thank you all so much for watching, for being a part of this journey.
Pride plans.
Again, my pride plans. I'm gonna be out of here. I'm gonna be in P-Town for Men of Melanin weekend. Again, right. Shout out to y'all for that. I cannot wait. I'm
just
gonna be
snapshots.
I can't wait. I will. Oh no, I will.
Especially if you see people like Jamari Bowman out there.
But you know what? This is different for me. I've been a part of Pride for the past 3 years. I want to say, so it's nice to kind of step out of that box. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be a great time. You all who's going to be there, enjoy yourselves, and make sure that you know the reason that we're all doing this, because that's what we want to focus on, the reason behind Pride, not just the parades, not just the parties, not just interacting with our friends. It's so much more than that.
So much more.
But I want to end it here today, and I want to give you the opportunity, since you're late, to address the viewers and maybe what you want to leave with us today. Anything you have upcoming, any events?
So so I talked about the Chicken and Waffle Social, which is actually Brother Taylor's event at church, and I'm just going to be supporting Brother Taylor on that event. I'm truly excited about it.
Me and Pastor's event.
Yeah. So so tomorrow at the Pride Festival, alongside my good friend Young Onyx and my niece Nael Sheik, we'll be hosting the headliners on the main stage for the Pride Festival.
So I had a question.
Yeah.
That a few people asked me out. Will Nael Sheik and Young Onyx also be performing as well as hosting?
No, they will not be performing in this one. Which, hold on, I'm going to say this. I am going to say this. There was a piece of information that I did not know, and now that I am working closely and going to be putting my application in for the Pride Board for next year. One thing that I do want to make transparent to everyone is that there is an application process for in order to perform. And with everything, and that's the way they've done it for years, have an application process. So
you're right. Actually,
my big thing, and hold on, let me finish. My big thing is I want to now make that transparent, that there is an application process for everyone to know. So making sure that it's on every social media aspect, make sure there's any performers
They did reach out to volunteer performers. They did.
So, but the other thing is, we have to think about it like this. You said something, volunteer performers. We also have to think something like this. Pride costs a lot of money. And then also for a lot of those drag queens to get on stage, in order to perform, that costs a lot of money. And one thing I will not allow for our queens of color to get on a main stage without having some type of coin.
Oh, absolutely.
Period. For too long, and the reason for Pride is, it was trans women of color that started Pride, that started the protest and started the rioting. And I'm going to be real frank about this, and period. Because yes, I have many drag mothers. My one gay mother is a trans woman of color, a prominent trans woman of color. And let me tell you something: if I need a couch to sleep on, I have a couch to sleep on. If I need food in my belly, I have food in my belly. If I need money in my pocket, I have money in my pocket.
Listen.
Because that's what a real mother does. Period.
Listen, like I like to say,
period.
my art is for everyone. My art is for free. My talent is billable.
Exactly.
Now hold on. You can get my art. That's for free. That's for everyone. My talent, that's billable.
But my anointing is free.
Please confirm with me my rates. My website is up and running.
So I will be at the main stage tomorrow. Very excited about that. I'm truly excited about.
I'm excited too. This is gonna be a phenomenal moment.
It is.
It's gonna be great.
It is. It's gonna be a phenomenal moment. But I also want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and all that jazz. And also look out, Coffee with D. Going to be restarting this summer.
Now hold on.
Yes.
Now hold on.
Yes, Coffee with D.
Now Ken Medlin just said our book should be called Friendship, Coffee and Tea. I like that.
Now hold on. Now
I like that. I like that. Friendship, Coffee and Tea. I like that.
Oh my goodness.
Put a bookmark right there.
Right there.
Save it for later.
When we write the thank you, we're gonna write special thanks to Ken
Medlin. Oh yes.
For the topic, for the title.
But,
yeah. So yeah, I have that starting back up and all that jazz. But like, look out for things that are happening through church on Facebook. Look out for things that are going to be happening everywhere. We still have the BLM Pride March that's going to be happening. Was postponed to July. So there's so many things. You'll see me.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you'll see me all over. Which they do want us to host it again because we did our thing last year, my friend.
I know. Mr. Harrison Tuttle has reached out, and I love Harrison Tuttle. So that's like I said to you earlier. If it's someone that I care for, I will at least consider it. So.
But what I do want to leave everybody with today, if you don't mind, let me just get it. Because I want to read it verbatim. Simply. Okay.
Late and don't have your materials prepared. Lord Jesus.
Now y'all know how I made it through college. Anyway. So it is Romans 13:8, and it says, "Owe no man anything, but to love one another. For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law." And for me, the law is this simple: love conquers all. Amen. No matter what you're going through with somebody, no matter what you're going through in life, love forward. Put your love forward and put your heart forward, and I guarantee everything will be all right. And that's my spin tonight.
Amen. And you know what? I'm going to piggyback right off of that so we can give y'all back your Friday. Love yourself. Know yourself. And then so much more will make sense. So much more will begin to fall in place in your lives. And like I always say, be good to yourselves.
Amen.
Be good to yourselves. Look inward before outward. Be good to yourselves. I'm not going to stop saying it, so you might as well just listen. That's how I function with my children. I just keep repeating myself until it sticks. So be good to yourselves. It's so important to be good to yourselves. And so much more can be accomplished. Our mental states will be so much better. Just loving yourself will open so many doors. So love yourself, know yourself, and be good to yourself. With that, thank you so much for watching. I'll give you back your Friday. I love you all. Happy Pride. And thank you for watching. I'm going to say good night. Good night, and see you later. I love you guys. Peace.